Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunatmaya Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamiyam Dadati Sutantikam Vancha Kalpatrivasya Kripa Sindhubheva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to
Hare
get
Krishna.
myself once again connected to devotees in New Jersey. When I was working in Philadelphia, not Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, there's one place known as Exton, which is in exteriors. So I used to work there and then visit Trenton Temple in New Jersey, and a couple of times in New York, but yes, mostly Trenton. And there was a devotees community which was in Brownsville. So there I used to associate with devotees, and having coming in touch with devotees from New Jersey, back again after 12 years. Yeah, in 2008 I visited New Jersey. So that is back again after 12 years. I'm getting to see devotees there. I'm very happy, very joyful. I'm feeling fortunate. Thank you very much, Ramchandra Prabhu, and of course Govinda Krishna Prabhu, who acted like a touchstone as just mentioned. So thank you very much for inviting me and letting me serve all of you. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing about Krishna Janma Lila. Of course, there are those who are great speakers on Srimad Bhagavatam. They speak for entire week on just the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna. So Lord Krishna, as all of you know, that there is very famous verse, and all the speakers they mention this verse, that is Janma Karma Chome Divan, that his appearance as well as his activities both are divine in nature. So his birth, his appearance is also divine in nature. Once there was one college boy. He said, Prabhu, actually Kansa, he was such a nut. He knew that the eighth child of Devaki is going to kill him. Still he kept Vasudeva and Devaki in same cell. Are Baba, he should have kept Devaki and Vasudeva in different cells. Not even first child would have taken birth. What to speak of eighth child? He's keeping them in the same cell. And then he's killing all the children. Are, kya? What logic? So that is Kansa. He was such a nut. So devotee said, actually, Kansa was not a nut. You are a nut. Even while playing the negative role in the Krishna Lila, he knows what role I am to play. He knows his role, and that is he is there in the Lila. A rascal like you, who is a nut actually, you do not know what is the glorious pastime of Krishna, and you, since you are not going to positively contribute to Krishna's Lila, and that's why you are not in Lila. Kansa was still there in the Lila. You are worse than Kansa actually. Because everyone contributes to Krishna's divine pastimes actually. So not that, if Devaki and Vasudeva would have been in a different cell, so then Krishna would not have taken birth because he's the begotten son, the biological son of Vasudeva and Devaki. No, it's not like that. Actually, Vasudeva and Devaki, their name is also very significant. Vasudeva means transcendental. Okay, that which is beyond three modes is known as Vasudeva. Or sometimes like we say, it is Vasudeva Sthiti. That means a place or a status which is beyond three modes, transcendental. That is Vasudeva. And Devaki, another name of Devaki is also Yashoda, or say Devaki is also the one that brings auspiciousness, that which casts away all inauspiciousness. So that is Devaki. So auspiciousness and transcendence, when they combine together, then at that place Lord Shri Krishna takes appearance. So that is, their names are also not just by the way names. No, their names are also, they're having meaning. Just like we also see the name of Dattatreya. Father's name is Atre Rishi. Mother's name is Anusuya. Anusuya means without envy. When there is no enviousness, that's Anusuya. And Atri means Atri. Three means three mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. Atri means which is beyond these three. So that is Atri. So when the person is situated in Atri, that means beyond three modes, and one is free from envy, then the Lord would take birth. When auspiciousness by devotees association comes in one's life, as well as when it becomes transcendental, then Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna, then he takes his appearance. So Krishna's appearance is certainly divine. And we see that in Srimad Bhagavatam, comes to mention that there's mentioned that Lord Krishna, when he appeared, so it was Kala Param Shobhanam. That means that time was very, very auspicious. But if you see all the constellations at that time and the configuration of the planets and the stars and nakshatras, the time, it was all very inauspicious. Like at that time, there was Ashwini nakshatra and Rohini constellation, it was there. So it is very, when they are together, it is considered to be very, very inauspicious. At that time, it was Dakshinayan, which is the night time of the demigods. Uttarayan is auspicious. Dakshinayan is considered not so auspicious. That's for Bhagavad Gita, right? Somebody leaves one's body in Dakshinayan, goes to lower planets, and Uttarayan, then higher planets. So it was Dakshinayan, although another misfortune. And then more for the misfortune. Daytime is more fortunate. Daytime is considered more in goodness. Nighttime is tamasic. Lord Krishna appeared midnight. So that means triple misfortune. It was such a bad time actually. Ashwini Nakshatra, Rohini constellation, and nighttime, Dakshinayan. God, this is such an auspicious time. And then Srimad Bhagavatam, Shuddha Goswami says, Kalaha Param Shobhanam. Are, it should be Kala Param Ashobhanam. Just see that astrologically, it is such an inauspicious time, Baba. But it is Kala Param Shobhanam. Reason being, if something is already auspicious, and Krishna is appearing in something which is already auspicious, then that's not greatness of the Lord. But if something is inauspicious, very, very inauspicious, and Krishna makes it very, very auspicious, that is greatness actually. So that is Lord Krishna appeared in inauspicious time, making it super auspicious, and that became Kalaha Param Shobhanam. It became supremely auspicious time. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he chose that, okay, in this entire world, where Maya is strongest, USA. All right, in USA, where Maya is strongest, where in USA, New York. In New York, where Maya is strongest, Bowery Street. All right, we will start our first center in Bowery Street. Bang on. And that is Srila Prabhupada. In this way, ISKCON started. So it was not like everything was very cozy, comfortable, people were very pious. No, it's not like that. So it became Sthana Param Shobhanam by Srila Prabhupada's potency actually. So Lord Krishna's appearance is divine. How? Because he is there even before his birth, and he continues to exist even his departure. And Srila Prabhupada used to give analogy, just like the sun may rise in the east and sun may set in the west. Before rising of the sun existed. And after the sun is set, the sun continues to exist. So that is, sun is always there. Similarly, when Lord Krishna appears, even before that, Krishna is there. And when he makes his departure, when he finishes his Leela, even then he is still there. So that is, Lord Krishna is always existed. In fact, one of the chronicles about Lord Ram, it mentions that Darshan Maharaj went to Lord Krishna's temple, Bal Gopal temple, where Lord Krishna is lying on a peepal leaf and he's sucking his foot thumb. And he is at that temple of Lord Krishna, Bal Gopal Krishna. Darshan Maharaj pleased him. Now, this is now Treta Yoga. That, oh Lord, please come as my son. And then Lord Krishna mentioned to him that nobody can be like me, so I will come as your son. And then Lord Krishna came as son, as Ramchandra in Treta Yuga. Even though Lord Krishna's divine appearance will happen in Dwapar Yuga later. So that means Lord Krishna is always there. In fact, there is one more scripture known as Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya. It mentions that how Lord Krishna gave darshan to Prahlada Maharaj. Oh, Prahlada Maharaj happened in Satyuga. There also Lord Krishna gave darshan. And when he was leaving, so Prahlada Maharaj was weeping. So he said, why are you weeping? What happened? Maybe you are recalling all the tortures and all the atrocities which your father laid upon you. Are you remembering that? He said, no. All those atrocities did not give me that pain as much as the pain of getting separated from you. So Lord Krishna also gave darshan to Prahlada Maharaj, to Dashrath Maharaj, and then he is there in Dwapar Yuga as well. So that is, Lord Krishna is always existing. God is always existing. There are people who doubt that how can there can be a father and mother of God. Why not? God is absolute truth. Why can't he have? So he certainly can have. So Lord Krishna, he made his appearance, and before he made his appearance, of course, we see that Mata Devaki, she had to um, lose 6 children, and the seventh child was considered to be a miscarriage. So those 6 children, they are considered to be sons of Kal Nemi, and they were actually demons, and they were supposed to die, and they died. And then seventh child was Balramji, and Balramji was considered to be a miscarriage, but actually it was Yogamaya Shakti who transferred from the womb of Mother Devaki to Mother Rohini, Lord Balram. So that means it was considered that the seventh child was a miscarriage. So now Kansa was doubting whether the next child should be counted as the seventh or next child should be counted the eighth. Confusion started happening. Yeah. So, and then eighth child, then Krishna appeared. So we see that Lord Balram, he prepared the womb of Mother Devaki for Lord Krishna. So Lord Balram, since Balram Purnima is also coming, so we'll glorify Lord Balram as well a little bit. So Balramji has got a plow. Yeah. He's got a plow, and he has also got a club. With a club, he controls the mind of the sadhaka because he's Guru Tattva. So he controls the mind of the sadhaka by that club. And with the plow, he makes the heart very soft. He makes the heart fertile so that bhakti now can appear in that place. So just like Balramji has appeared and making the womb of Mother Devaki ready so that Lord Krishna can arrive here. Similarly, Lord Balramji also does a job in the form of Guru of preparing the heart of the devotee so that Lord Krishna can now reside here, like that. So that way, so Lord Balram, he did this service with the plow. He's making the heart of the devotee soft, and with the club he drives away all that which is inauspicious, all that which is creating obstacles on the path of bhakti. So that's the job of Lord Balram, and Lord Balram has got such immense love for Lord Krishna that he serves Krishna in all the 5 rasas. We all know that there is Shanta rasa, there is Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, Vasya rasa, and Madhurya rasa. He serves as Shanta rasa, like in the form of the holy dham, in the form of all the paraphernalia, the mridanga. So Shanta rasa. Okay. As Dasya rasa, he serves as a spiritual master because spiritual master thinks of himself as a servant of the Lord. So he serves as Guru as well. He also serves as Sakha as well as a parental love is there when he's there as Balram. Balram, because he's elder brother, so there is friendship also with Krishna, and as well as there is affection, fatherly affection or parental affection towards Krishna. So friendship rasa as well as parental rasa, as well as Madhurya rasa as Anang Manjari. Anang Manjari is also form of Lord Balram, who appears like as a sister of Srimati Radharani. So as Madhurya rasa as well. So in all the 5 rasas, the only person who is serving in all the 5 rasas is Lord Balram. So he prepared the womb of Mother Devaki in this way so that Lord Krishna can arrive here. And Sri Vishwanath Thakur, he also gives very interesting message to this, that how come 6 children they are dying and then appearance of Lord Balram and then Krishna, this sequence. He says that actually Kansa represents fear, and the 6 children who died, they represent the anarthas. Just like Kansa killed all these children, similarly the fear I may not lose my bhakti, the fear that I may not commit offenses, the fear that I may not go away from a devotees association, the fear that I may not stop chanting Hare Krishna. This fear is very good fear, and this fear will kill all the obstacles on the path of bhakti. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya, all this lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, all would be wiped out when we are very, very fearful, which is positive fear, that I may not lose bhakti, I may not commit offenses. Oh, this fear is good. This fear is positive fear. You'll see that those devotees who are not having such a fear, they're always on the verge of committing offenses and then wiped out. They can go away anytime. So one should be fearful. Dharna chahiye, one should be fearful. Actually, Prabhupada, he once said that all my disciples, they are doing very good. They have nice seva. They are very enthusiastic. But one thing is missing in them. They are not fearful of Maya. They should be fearful of Maya. Anytime anything can happen, we should be fearful of her mighty power. She's very, very powerful. She can play around with the mind She can play around with the intelligence. She can play around with the body. She can play around with anything. Oh, of course, that's a very tough seva which she is doing. Being a Vaishnavi, somebody has to do this seva. It's such a tough job. So that is what she is doing. But anyways, but Lord Krishna, what did he do? So he made his divine appearance, and before he appeared in the heart of Vasudevji, and then appeared in the heart of Mother Devaki, and then in the womb of Mother Devaki. Because Lord Krishna travels from heart to heart. That's the way he makes his traveling, from heart to heart. Like we see in our lives as well, we received bhakti because the person whom we associated, he was carrying bhakti in his heart. Lord Krishna was there in his heart. And then from his heart, he expands into the heart of another devotee. And then from his heart, he expands into another devotee's heart. So Krishna travels from heart to heart. So from Vasudevji's heart, he traveled to Devaki's heart. And then he entered the womb. And when he entered the womb of Mother Devaki became so effulgent, as if millions of moons have assembled in one single point, at one single place. So much effulgence was there. And the demigods would come and admire that, oh yes, Supreme Absolute Truth Krishna is now here in the glorious womb of Mother Devaki. Wow. And when he made his appearance as well, before appearing, he appeared outside just to assure that, yes, I have come, don't worry. And he showed his forearm formed as well, just to ensure that, yes, you should be, don't worry. There is Lord Hari. When there is Lord Hari, you need not worry. So here I am. So to give assurance, he showed his forearm form. Otherwise, Lord Krishna doesn't have to show his forearm form. But yes, opulence is required. Actually, Mother Devaki's love or Vasudevji's love is having intimacy as well as Ashwarya. Yeah. And other Vasala devotees, say Mother Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, she is having absolutely intimate love with Lord Krishna. And Nanda Maharaj, their love is so much intimate that even if they see universe in Krishna's mouth, even then they are not bewildered. Yeah, that's their love. And then comes the love of Vasudeva and Devaki. And then comes of Yashoda and Darshan Maharaj. And then come of other devotees as well, who are like Sivaman's parents. So Aditi and Kashmiri and all that, they come like that. But you might have seen in Emporium, there is a big elephant, and inside elephant there is another elephant. Inside that elephant there is another elephant. Inside elephant there is another elephant. Yeah. So outside elephant is the love of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Inside the love of the elephant which is there is that of Devaki and Vasudevji. And inside the elephant, that elephant is actually Dashrath and Kaushalya. So in this way, it is like, so Mother Yashoda's love is all encompassing for Lord Krishna. But anyway, so Vasudeva, so in this way, Lord Krishna, he made his appearance and he gave this confidence. He told them that how he has to be transferred to Nandagaon. So Krishna explained, and then he was carrying Krishna. As he was carrying Krishna, so that particular jail had 16 doors, and Vasudevji as he was carrying Krishna, he had to pass through those 16 doors. What do these 16 doors represent? The 16 doors, they represent 5 karmendriya, action senses, and then 5 knowledge acquiring senses, the 5 Panchamahabhut, and 1 the mind. So 5, 5, 5, and 1. 16. So we are covered with this in this jail of 16 knowledge acquiring senses and action senses or activity senses, and then Panchamahabhut and as well as mind. So we have to pass through all of them. We have to get rid of all of them. So one by one, he was getting free from all of them. And then there were also gatekeepers. The gatekeepers who were there outside guarding, they also slept. So what are these gatekeepers? These gatekeepers are actually lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, egotism, and all that. That is represented by the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers, they slept. And what happened? And all the iron shackles which were there, iron shackles, they got automatically unlocked. And he got untied with these iron shackles. These iron shackles represent the cycle of birth and death. So as somebody is carrying Krishna, one would become free from the cycle of birth and death. One would become this lust, anger, greed, pride, and illusion would sleep because they are the gods, and all the 16 doors they would get opened. And there are also lions. There were also lions outside, so that anybody is trying to escape and makes and becomes successful in escaping all these doors and all the gatekeepers. There were lions outside to devour. So these lions, they represent attachments. All mundane attachments, they get loosened up just because when Lord Krishna, we are carrying Lord Krishna. So mundane attachments, they also go and becomes free from by the presence of Lord Krishna. So in this way, Vasudevji, he was carrying Krishna with himself. And he was moving towards Vrindavan. And as he's carrying Krishna and moving towards Vrindavan, all these obstacles of attachment and lust, greed, pride, envy, illusion, and all that, all were getting gradually mitigated, one by one, one by one. And as he's moving outside like that, and as he was moving, there was no noise at all. Very quietly, he was moving outside. Very quietly. We progress on the path of bhakti very quietly. We do not make noise when somebody is improving. So on the path of bhakti, and then one makes a lot of noise. No. Very quietly, one keeps improving, keeps improving, keeps improving, keeps improving. And after a few years, you see, oh, such a person has become such a great devotee. But we never realized how come you have become so deep. What happened, man? How come you could become so successful? You have become so deep in bhakti, so much realization, so much of wisdom. Wow! Amazing, Prabhu. Amazing, Mataji. Great job. So we see that on the path of bhakti, one moves very quietly. There's no noise. Just like Vasudevji, when he's moving, was not making any noise, any voice, any kind of sound. Quietly, one keeps moving. When you see that those devotees who make so much of noise, who are on the here and there on social media, ye media, wo media, they keep making so much of noise. They do not improve on the path of bhakti. Sometimes criticizing this person, sometimes criticizing the system, sometimes so much noise. But those devotees who are quietly just doing bhakti, they keep improving like that. And as he was moving, so all the darkness was mitigated, and the light was increasing. So the Acharyas also explained why it was happening, because he was carrying Surya Narayan with himself. Surya Narayan is within Krishna. Actually, the sun which we see in the morning, the effulgence of that sun is because sun god Vivaswan is worshipping Surya Narayan. So that means he's getting that effulgence from Surya Narayan. And that Surya Narayan is there. All the incarnations are in the original form, Krishna form. So as he was carrying Surya Narayan with himself, so the darkness was getting mitigated. The darkness. Similarly, in a devotee's life, the darkness of ignorance, the darkness of depression, the darkness of anxiety, the darkness of loneliness, the darkness of suicidal thoughts, all these darkness, they get mitigated just because somebody is carrying, a devotee is carrying. Surya Narayan is also there within the form of Lord Krishna. That's there. And as he kept moving outside, he became more and more blissful. He was becoming happier and happier as all the gates were getting opened one after another. So he was becoming more and more blissful. So similarly, when we are progressing on the path of bhakti, we become more and more blissful as we keep improving, and we become more and more blissful. If somebody after 15, 20 years of bhakti and 25 years of bhakti is fried out, he has got a frosty nose, he has got a bitter face and a loud, cranky voice. How many years in bhakti? 30 years. My God, oh, what happened to you? Krishna is so sweet. Bhakti is so sweet. How come, after 30 years of devotion, this is what has appeared finally? Oh God, what happened? So actually, if somebody goes into the history of such a devotee, somewhere there was lack of sincerity, or he was not carrying really Krishna. I met one guy in one of our places in Delhi, and I was distributing books, Bhagavad Gita. He said, I'm done with this Haribol business. I said, oh, you're done with Haribol business? Yeah, 30 years, man, 30 years. I'm done with this Haribol business. He said, oh, what happened actually? You're 30 years old devotee, you are senior to me. Please, I seek your blessing. Yeah, blessings, blessings. So probably please share what happened. Nothing, man. It's all crazy. The Hare Krishnas, they're all crazy, man. All crazy. The temple president was crazy. The vice president was crazy. The HOD was crazy. Everyone was crazy. And finally, I'm done with this horrible business. Oh, I see. Oh. There is a law. If Bob has problem with A, if Bob has problem with B, if Bob has problem with C, and Bob is also having problem with D, that means Bob is the problem. So that is when we do not do our bhakti sincerely, nicely, criticizing devotees, creating so much of noise, we do not remain blissful on the path of bhakti, even though it is such a blissful path. It is susukham kartum avyam. It is susukham, not a sukham. Susukham. Very blissful path. Bhakti is very blissful path. How can somebody be not blissful by following the path of bhakti? Naturally, one would be blissful. In fact, being grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada, who's a Senapati Bhakta of Mahaprabhu, we are bound to be blissful. If somebody is not really blissful in the path of bhakti, well, my dear, there is something seriously wrong with you. Yeah, you are not doing something very the path of bhakti or the process of devotional service nicely, properly. That's why. Otherwise, bhakti by nature is blissful. But yes, and just like Vasudevji, as he was moving outside, he was carrying Krishna with himself, he was becoming more and more blissful. And the darkness was going away, and more there was light, this divinity, and he was experiencing. And as he kept moving, Vasudevji, as he was carrying Krishna, so at that time, the clouds, they started raining. And why the clouds started raining? Because clouds, they thought that let's do Abhishek of Krishna. Before this, Mother Devaki, she has done Abhishek of Krishna by the tears. And later on, Mother Yashoda is going to do Abhishek of Krishna with her tears and with her love. I would never get a chance to do Abhishek of Krishna. Okay, I got a chance to do Abhishek of Krishna. So that phase, he started, so Megha at that time, the clouds, they started raining to do Abhishek of Krishna. He said, this is a golden chance. Let me do the Abhishek. They started doing Abhishek. Secondly, the clouds, they were very happy because the clouds, they thought that Krishna has taken our complexion. Our dynasty has become glorified because Krishna has taken our complexion. He is Ghanshyam. So Ghana is clouds, the Sham. So that blackish complexion, the grayish complexion, that of the clouds. So that is Krishna has taken our complexion. Brothers, so let's shed our tears in joy because Krishna has taken complexion of ours. Ghanshyam, wow. So clouds are very happy like that. And then he also remembered that Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram, Pushpam, Palam, and then Toyam. If somebody offers Toyam, which is Jala, as love, as a loving offering, so Krishna accepts. So let's follow Bhagavad Gita. Let's offer Toyam to Krishna. So that is all the clouds, it all started raining because it was the ecstasy of joy. And they were thinking that water gives life. But the one who has given water to us, that's Krishna. Because of him, we have the power to form the clouds. And that means let's pay our gratitude to Krishna that he has empowered us to carry water which gives life. But we have received life from Krishna. So let's give it back to Krishna. So in this way, the clouds, they were very, very joyful. And then they were showering water on Krishna's divine body. And Vasudevji was also there. So seeing this, so as Vasudevji, as he's moving, so at that time, everyone was inside. Everyone was inside at that time. And Vasudevji was all walking alone. So on the path of bhakti, when we are carrying Krishna, people would not see our progress on the path of bhakti. People would not see, externally speaking. So it is very soundless. At that time, it was all raining. The sound was there only of rain and stepping of Vasudevji. That's it. No other sound. Similarly, when we are progressing on the path of bhakti, we will see that when we are making some gradual steps on the path of bhakti, our movement, as we keep moving on the path of bhakti, that movement is in itself a proof that we are carrying Krishna. When we become static, when we are no more ecstatic, when we have become static, when we are non-moving, that means I am not progressing on the path of bhakti. And that's the meaning of Hare Krishna movement. Hare Krishna movement, as an, of course, we are moving as a movement, Hare Krishna movement, but individually also there should be Hare Krishna movement. There should be a movement, Hare Krishna movement. As you become static, then there is no movement. Now we have become stiff. What makes us stiff is ego. Ego makes us stiff. More and more we become free from the clutches of ego. More and more we become flexible. More and more we become free flowing on the path of bhakti. Just like river is flexible, and that's why it reaches the ocean. So river flows. It doesn't argue with the mountains. Hey, I'll flow from only this path. Move. Mountains would say, well, we are here and we will continue to be here. Do whatever you want. So at that time, river doesn't argue with mountains. So, okay, be here. I'll take different path. And then she moves to a different path. And this way she reaches the ocean. Similarly, we should also be flexible. When we are flexible and we keep moving, then we can reach Krishna. If we become stiff, we become stubborn, if we become non-moving, and we see that, and we become so much self-absorbed, then we see that our Hare Krishna movement would be stopped. Our individual Hare Krishna movement. As an organization, this Hare Krishna movement will go on, but our movement will stop. So Vasudevji kept moving, and the sound of his walking was it. And yes, the rest nobody else was watching actually, like that. So he kept on moving. So at that time, so Ananta Shesh was thinking that this, I can see that there's so much heavy rain. I should serve the Lord. So Ananta Shesh also appeared. So when Ananta Shesh appeared, so he was thinking, well, what should I do? If I come in front of Vasudevji, then he would not be able to walk because I'm in front. So how to walk? I can't be on side as well because then I would be covering Krishna partially. Okay, I should be on the back side. So from back side, he was covering Krishna like that. And as Vasudevji was walking, so when he entered Yamuna, so at that time the Yamuna's water was there up until his neck. And Yamuna, just with her waves, as she touched the feet of Krishna, and then she got down. Her intention was just to touch the feet of Krishna. That's it. And Ananta Shesh was following Vasudevji, and he was also telling that those who are carrying Krishna, we should follow them. Even I am following. I am Ananta Shesh. I also follow those who are carrying Krishna. So that phase, there are two meanings of this. One is that Ananta Shesh is Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva's shelter would be upon those who would be carrying Krishna in the form of his holy names. So Guru Tattva would always be there to give them shelter. Secondly, we should be following such devotees who are carrying Krishna with themselves. That's the thing. There are many devotees, of course, they are practicing nicely. There are devotees who just say Hare Krishna, but their behavior is not so proper. There are devotees who get initiated and now they are beginning their devotional service. We should also respect them, pay them obeisances. But the one who is free from tendency to criticize others and those who are spiritually advanced, we should take association of theirs. Ashwara Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita and Updeshamrita. So that phase, those who are carrying Krishna with themselves in their hearts, we should be following them. That's very important. So at that time, he was thinking that Krishna is Akhil Rasamrita Murti. So Krishna is Akhil Rasamrita Murti. So that phase, let me take shelter of this Krishna. So in this way, so Ananta Shesh was there, and he was there meditating on Akhil Rasamrita Murti Krishna, who was there with Vasudevji at that time. And at that time, Ananta Shesh was feeling so joyful. He was very, very happy. And he was thinking that since Lord Krishna is being carried by Vasudevji, and the clouds, they are raining, they are doing the Abhishek. So I should allow the Abhishek to happen as well, because I should not impede into another devotee's contributions and seva. So he allowed little bit sprinkle of shower from the rain cloud to come upon Krishna, but not the heavy rain. So that is, he was covering Krishna and allowing little bit service also of the clouds to happen, so that the clouds do not feel disappointed like that. And in this way, Vasudevji, he reached the house of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, and there Nandanandan Krishna was also there. So Mother Yashoda gave birth to twins. One was Yogamaya, and another is Nandanandan Krishna. Okay. So when he brought Vasudev Krishna, so Vasudev Krishna merged with Nandanandan Krishna. Nandanandan Krishna was not visible to Vasudevji. So now there are two Krishnas here. Vasudev Krishna merged inside Nandanandan Krishna, who is actually originally who is Krishna, Nandanandan Krishna. And Yogamaya was being taken back. And who later on turned into Mahamaya as well, as per our acharyas, like that. And then as he was carrying, Vasudevji was carrying a Yogamaya back, who would manifest the Leela as Mahamaya actually, who's carrying now Maya in a way. So when somebody is carrying Maya, so when he came, he was carrying Krishna. When he went back, he was carrying Maya. As he was carrying Maya with himself, as he came back. So that is when he came back. So as he kept coming back to the jail, all the doors started closing, and all the doors got closed, and the shakas were again back in there, and the lions were awakened up, and the guards were also awake. So that is all of them they were back in form. So when we are carrying Krishna, so they all get opened, and when we are carrying Maya, we actually get encapsulated in all this. So of course there is Yoga Maya, but just to learn a lesson. Then when we are carrying Maya, then we would get imprisoned in the material world. But when we are carrying Krishna, we would be liberated from the material world. So in this way, Lord Krishna, he made his divine appearance, which was such a wonderful, sweet pastime of Lord Shri Krishna. And that is on coming Janmashtami, we should seek mercy of Supreme Lord Krishna, that he may bless us, so that we may aspire for pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any question? You may ask a question.
I have a question. Also, if you have a question, you could raise your hand, but go ahead and ask. But if you have raised your hand, we'll go in that order as well. Please go ahead.
Okay, I have a question about when you described each gate was a sense. Can you elaborate a little more on that? So you said 5 senses that we have, and then the other 5 were for knowledge senses?
Yeah. So they are knowledge acquiring. So they are knowledge acquiring senses like eyes, nose, the tongue, the ears, the skin. So these are knowledge acquiring senses. In the sense we acquire knowledge. Something is soft, something is hard, something is sweet, something is not so sweet, something melodious, something is not so melodious, something is sweet, sour, salty. So senses. Something is fragrant, something is having bad odor. So eyes, something very beautiful, something ugly. So that means these are knowledge acquiring senses. And there are hands, legs, anus, rectum, and one more is there. As these are like action senses, or say activity senses. And the Pancha Mahabhut, which is earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are 5 Pancha Mahabhut, and then the mind. So these 16 are there. 5, 5, 5, and 1. That's 16. So we are covered by these senses: knowledge acquiring senses, the action senses, or the activity senses, and the Pancha Mahabhut, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and the mind, the rascal mind. So that's 16.
Wow, great. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kiran Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, can I ask?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhuji, my question is that regarding that merging of Yogamaya and Mahamaya. You said that twins born, then you talked about the birth of Yogamaya, and then you said Yogamaya merges into Mahamaya. But Mahamaya is a subset of Yogamaya. So how can a subset merge into a supraset? That was my question.
Yeah, actually, subset can merge into supraset. Supraset cannot merge into subset.
Yeah, so here the supraset is merging into the subset, na? You said that Yogamaya is merging into Mahamaya.
Yes, actually here, if we take them as 2 distinct entities, then merging would be difficult, because we can't just like, I can't merge into you, you can't merge into me.
Yeah.
But in terms of energies, they are interconvertible. Just like Srila Prabhupada used to give example, just like electricity, same electricity when it goes to heater, it gives heat. Same electricity when it goes to a refrigerator, a cold, freezer, right? Same electricity. So Yogamaya as the original Shakti can manifest as external potency as well. which acts absolutely differently as the nature of Yoga Maya. Just like ghee is used to ignite fire. And same ghee, if you pour extra, it would extinguish fire. If you have somebody has done yagya and somebody pours extra ghee, oh Lord, gee, fire is extinguished.
Yeah, right.
Little ghee, then it ignites the fire. The same ghee, acting in opposite way, right? Similarly, we see that Yogamaya enhances bhakti, brings us closer to Krishna. Mahamaya bewilders the soul, takes us away from Krishna. So that phase, so Maya can act like that. And Sri Prabhupada also used to give example of nails. It's like nails which are sticking to the skin, that's Yogamaya. Okay, and the nail which is coming out of the finger, that is Mahamaya. Yeah, and you see the nail, and that which is sticking to the skin is living, and that nail which extends outside, that's dead. Yeah, so the nail which is extending outside is coming from this nail which is sticking to the skin. Actually. So from Yogamaya comes Mahamaya. Yeah, so this is extension of this skin which is sticking. So Yogamaya extends into Mahamaya. So of course here we are seeing both of them, but yes, just to see that from one Maya is coming another Maya, they can come. So this is how we can understand that Yogamaya can now act like Mahamaya as well, and then she can also act like Yogamaya. And you see, like Lord Krishna, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Devi Hesha Gunumai Maya Duratya, that my Maya is insurmountable. Right. But he calls that Maya as Devi. You should call that Maya as Mahamaya, Badmash Maya, Shaitan Maya, Pariksha Lene Wali Maya, Aisi Maya, Vaisi Maya. But he says Devi Maya. Why? Because for Lord Krishna, there is no such thing as Mahamaya. For him, it's just another energy because he doesn't get bound up by Mahamaya. He's free from all Maya. So he says, well, yeah, Devi Hesh. Yeah, for me, all my Maya are Devi. Yeah, this Maya also Devi, that is also Devi, because nothing can bind me. I'm beyond. That is Devi Hesh. So that phase we can understand that how Maya is interconvertible. Like same Mahamaya approached Lord Krishna, said, oh Lord, I am given a task of taking away all the souls away from you. I test them, I bewilder them, I confuse them. Such a hard task of taking away these souls away from you. Would that I could also do the service of bringing the souls near to you. So Krishna said, all right. When I'll come as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that time, you will be there as Prahlada Maya. And then you will bring souls near to me. So I'll give you that task as well. So, and then Mahamaya was very happy. Finally I got seva of bringing souls near to the Lord. So the devotees who are coming near to the Lord, they are because of Prahlada Maya, form of Yoga Maya, is actually Mahamaya serving as Yoga Maya. So that is, you see, Maya job is interconvertible. Yeah?
Interchangeable and interconvertible, both.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a grand explanation with so many analogies. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mercy.
So we'll go in this order, Kiran, and then Om, and then Shraddha. Go ahead, Kiran.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So it's a well explained. So just in one of the statement in the session you mentioned like we should be fearful to Maya. So where when you were explaining that context, I'm a bit confused. The Bhakti Yoga Maya, when we are going to path towards the Krishna, and Maya will give you like a 200% that it will overcome your wisdom, and we need to, with the Bhakti only, you'll be able to move forward. So could you just please elaborate something around that Maya and how best we can, just clearful and then clear up and then towards to Lord Krishna.
Have you played Kabaddi in your childhood?
Yes.
Good. So when we do Kabaddi, and we say Kabaddi. So in case the player is weak, he doesn't enter the territory of the opposite side deep into it. He stays near the line. In case if you get to touch somebody and come back, very good. But we do not enter the territory deep there because I would be captured there and I would be out. So, but those who are very, very powerful, like say somebody is like Hulk, he can do kabaddi, and all the players are now they are upon him, and he can carry entire team back to his place and match over. But in case a player is weak, so he should be very careful. I should not get deep into the territory because it can be very dangerous. Similarly, when we're in the territory of Maya, we should be very careful not to play around with Maya, not to tease Maya, not to flirt with Maya. We should not do that, because otherwise then I can be captured. Like once Srila Prabhupada, he went to a zoo with the devotees, and one devotee was giving the groundnut seeds to the nuts to the lion, and the lion cub was looking so cute. Oh, so he was throwing these the groundnuts to the lion cub, and then all of a sudden, wow! And then the devotee was frightened. And Srila Prabhupada said, Maya is like that. From distance, she appears very cute. But in case you are not careful, she can pounce upon you. So devotee should always be careful. Reason being, Maya can bewilder the person in the form of opposite gender, in the form of name and fame, in the form of money, in the form of aristocracy, in the form of competing with the world around. And I should also show my mettle. It can bewilder anything. So that phase, Maya is very, very powerful. Devotee should know that Maya can bewilder me anytime. She is very, very mighty. Even with the intelligence and mind with which I am trying to fight with Maya, even they are also product of Maya. How can I fight with Maya, against Maya, with Maya products? So that phase, I should be fearful of Maya. Maya can play around with anyone. Yeah, and that's her job actually. Maya has got two jobs. Maya tells a non-devotee, don't come to Krishna, Baba. It's so boring, It's so boring. Bhakti is so boring, I'm telling you. There is so much excitement. Just go to Las Vegas. It is such a wonderful place. Go to New York, Baba. Just see the nightlife of Las Vegas and New York. Wow. Go to Argentina, Brazil. Yay. Don't come to Krishna. It is boring. So to a materialist, Maya says, don't surrender to Krishna. And to a devotee, Maya says, yeah, surrender. But tomorrow. Today. Delay the surrender. Don't surrender today. Tomorrow you may surrender. So you delay the surrender. That's what Maya does to a devotee. So devotee says, yes, Prabhuji, I will surrender. When? Tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. So are you surrendering today? No. Tomorrow. And then tomorrow again comes. So are you surrendering? Tomorrow. But tomorrow never arrives. In this way, Maya bewilders even a devotee. And that's her job. To test the determination of a devotee and to stop those who are inimical towards Krishna. So she does both these kind of services. And that's a very hard task, especially when she herself is a devotee. For a devotee to do this job, to keep the souls away from Krishna, is such a tough job. Just like in a drama, if a devotee has to play the role of Narad Muni, very easy. Narayan, very easy. But to play the role of Kansa, because that's not his nature. Right? So that's a difficult task which Maya has been assigned, but she is doing that seva of testing the determination of devotees. Are you really serious about bhakti? Are you giving bhakti the priority which it should be given? So that's a job, but she's doing. Yeah. So we should be fearful of Maya. She's very powerful.
Dhanyavad Prabhu. Thank you.
Om Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me? Yeah, Prabhu, my question is, related, like chapter 4, shloka 9, janma karma chame divyam yema yo veti tattvataha, So, I mean, on a, basic level or, again, at least, the devotees, who are on this call or, some, on a lower to mid practicing, we all kind of, at least, understand and serve, the first part of this sloka, right? We understand, at least the transcendental nature, appearance. So how to really understand, the inner and deeper meaning of this sloka? I mean, we all understand, but again, what we understand is really probably superficial, right? The appearance of Krishna and his activities, the transcendental nature. So any comments on how deep and breadth we have to understand this to truly understand?
Yeah, for truly understanding, we have to now rely on the words of our acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada. Just like if you say that sometimes in the jungle there is a trail, but the trail is covered by some branches, some leaves, and some residues here and there, and that covers the trail. And then it becomes very difficult to see where is the trail, the path which I should be walking on in the jungle. So the words of our acharyas, what do? They remove all this dirt, these branches, the trees, and all that which is covering up the trail, and makes a path very clear actually. So the words of the acharyas would reveal that how Krishna is great. That Srila Prabhupada used to say, Christianity mentions that God is great, but how is he great? That it does not explain. So our acharyas, they are explaining Krishna is great, and how is he great? What's the nature of his greatness actually? So in detail, we see the words of acharyas, and especially Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas. They are Vaishnava acharyas in other sampradaya as well. But the way the Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas, the depth of the details which they give is marvelous, unmatched, really superb, incredible, intoxicating, addicting. And that's the kind of details which they reveal. And that is so we rely on the words of our acharyas. So our hope is our acharyas actually. They are showing us the path. Like Jesus Christ used to say, I can show you the path, but you have to tread the path. Similarly, our acharyas, they are showing us the path. Now we have to tread the path.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. I mean, just to clarify, I mean, yeah, that's probably, on how, but I think, my question was a little bit like related to, the what aspects, meaning, okay, we understand the, the secret and the nature behind the appearance and all the activities that at least, we heard, with all the associations. So is that like treated as, the secret of this loka, or we need to know, again, everything in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. I mean, there's so many, pastimes, so much of, unlimited, right? Infinite, unlimited. So, so really on the what aspect, sorry, if it is taking too much time,
No,
leave
that's
it to
okay.
your discretion.
I'm just trying to understand. So what aspect in the sense, what all is here in terms of his transcendental nature? This is what you're trying to understand, is it?
Yeah, like for today, you definitely, explained on his transcendental nature of his appearance. And, we heard, many pastimes, many activities. So is that the flavor talking about in this shloka, or is there any, uncomprehendable, deeper meaning inside?
Yeah, actually, what I explained, this is the thing. Of course, these are words of acharyas. And the taste for this knowledge would come in a due course of time by practice of bhakti. Like that. So currently, at least we should have the theoretical understanding of what we heard, that okay, Krishna's a divine appearance. Yeah, we heard about that. Okay, some of the analogies, examples, teachings, and how much we can relate to it as in the way it is there that Vasudevji is carrying Krishna. So at least theoretically it should become clear. Later on, as we keep doing bhakti, so we realize it even more and more and more. Just like somebody reads a page, so it is just ink on the surface of the page. That's it. But when we keep reading it again and again, so the wisdom which is underneath, which is like an iceberg, iceberg that only tip is visible. On the page, the only tip is visible. And there is divine wisdom, deep wisdom, that gets revealed in a due course of time. And that way, scriptures are known as the revealed knowledge. We don't call them as understood knowledge. We call scriptures as the revealed knowledge, the divine revelation. Yeah. So scriptures, the divine knowledge in connection to God, is known as revelation because it is revealed by the Lord. So it is beyond our cognitive power. The knowledge acquiring, or say the intellect, it is beyond that. It is revealed. And that phase, when Lord is pleased, then he reveals more and more revelations in those same words. Same words which you read again and again will give you a more deeper revelation by the will of the Lord. So that phase, what we understood today was a theoretical thing. But yes, if we keep contemplating more onto it with devotion service, we'll get the deeper import of the same words, actually, like that. Like those lectures of Srila Prabhupada which I heard 20 years back, and now when I hear those lectures, Srila Prabhupada which I heard 20 years back, now I've got different connect altogether. Same lecture which I heard 20 years back, same lecture. So that means in the due course of time, our consciousness also becomes more cleansed and more imbued with the the spiritual potency of the Lord, and then same words, they enlighten us in a different platform also.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Ramchandra Prabhu.
You're welcome. Shraddha?
Okay, any other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your association. Towards the end of the lecture, you mentioned Nandanandan Krishna. He's the real Krishna. So do we understand that Mother Yashoda actually gave birth to two children, a girl and a boy?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And you said that Nandanandan Krishna was the real Krishna. Was there a purpose for that appearance? Could you elaborate a little more on that part as to what was the purpose? How did he advented and so on and so forth, please?
Yeah. Everything actually in Vrindavan is original. Vrindavan Dham is original. From Vrindavan Dham comes all other dhams. Haridwar Dham, Rishikesh Dham, all the holy dhams, they appear from, even Jerusalem and all that. Different dhams, they all come from, even Makkah, Medina, they all come from Vrindavan. Original dham is Vrindavan Dham. Original Shakti is Srimati Radharani. From her comes Lakshmi, from her comes Satyabhama, Rukmini, Sita. Radharani is Adi Shakti. Okay. And okay, then who is the original God? Original Dham, original Shakti, and original Shaktiman, original God is also Nandanandan Krishna. Okay. His expansions are there as Vasudeva Krishna, his expansion is there as Ram, expansion is there as Narsingha, Narayan, Vishnu. So everything original is in Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham in itself is original. Adi Shakti is original, Srimati Radhika, and original God also originally is present in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And that Vrindavan, Nandanandan Krishna, he identifies himself just as Yashoda's son, just as Nanda Maharaj's son. That's it. Once there was a Goshti, it was a meeting with the Brajavasis, and Brajavasis were thinking, this Krishna is black, and that's why he must be a son of some demon. And somehow, this demon has slipped their son into our village. And since Nanda and Yashoda, they are very innocent, they do not know, but they are taking care of a demon's son. He must be a demon. That's why he's black. You saw his complexion. It's blackish. He must be a demon. They all decide, okay, we have all done this meeting. Let's go to Nanda Maharaj and inform him that actually Krishna is the son of a demon. So they said, Nanda Maharaj, today we have come with a very serious agenda. He said, yeah, please tell me. Oh, all the Brajvasis today have come to my home. Please tell me. He said, see, we have seen Krishna. Have you seen his complexion? His complexion matches neither you nor Yashoda. That's why we're thinking that he must be a son of a demon. So you should be careful. Nanda Maharaj said, yes, you are right. He's blackish in complexion. Yes. He might be son of a demon. But not really, If he would have been a demon, then he would not have been killing all these demons like Putana, Aghasur, Shaktasur and all that. How can a demon kill another demon? They are from same family. So he cannot be a son of a demon. So all the Brajvasis said, yeah. Point. Maybe he is son of some demigod because he has got some extraordinary powers. How can he have some extraordinary powers? You see our children, they are normal children. But he does so many extraordinary feats. So he must be son of some demigod. And the Maharaj said, that's true. Yeah, he has got some extraordinary powers. But he can't be, son of a demigod as well. I saw Indra. He was doing all that dhup agarbatti and all that. He was having with folded hands. He was offering prayers. How can the king of demigods offer prayer to son of a demigod? He should be offering prayer to Indra. He should have been doing dhup agarbatti and all that with Indra. But opposite was happening. I saw Govind Kund, the Govind Kund. There was done Abhishek of our son, and he was doing dhup agarbatti, and he was this was a condition of Indra. He saw. So how that is, I doubt that he is the son of a demigod as well. Brajvasi said, point. then we think that he must be an incarnation of Lord Shiva, because then Shivji is beyond all these demigods. So maybe he's an incarnation of Lord Shiva. And then Nanda Maharaj said, brilliant point. He must be maybe he is an incarnation of Lord Shiva then. But then Nanda Maharaj said, no, that's not possible. I know once Lord Shiva came and he was there outside our home and he was saying, Alakh Niranjan, Alakh Niranjan. Alakh Niranjan means those who can be, the one who can be seen with divine eyes only. Alakh Niranjan. And he was saying, Alakh Niranjan, Alakh Niranjan. Oh Yashoda, I want to have darshan of your child. Bring your son. Oh, my wife Yashoda, when she saw such a ferocious form, huge form, she asked, who are you? Said, I am Baba from Kailash. Babaji from Kailash. And he was having ashes all over his body. And he was wearing the garland of skulls. And it's that form, when I looked at, I was so fearful. And so Yashoda was expressing. But the child Krishna, our child Krishna, was weeping again and again. So she was trying her level best, but he was still weeping. So one of the gopis suggested, okay, since this Baba has come from Kailash, let your child have darshan of this great Baba from Kailash. So then at that time, as soon as our child Krishna, he saw this Baba from Kailash, Shiv Baba, immediately he was pacified, he was smiling, and he was smiling looking at my son. And then he said, Alakh Niranjan, today Shiva has become so pleased having darshan of your son. How come Shivji can come and have darshan of his own incarnation? That doesn't make sense. So he is not also incarnation of Shiva. Brajavasi said, point. Then maybe this Krishna, he is Narayan. Your son Krishna is actually Narayan. Oh, that's a big thing. Our son is Narayan. But then Nanda Maharaj said, Narayan is such a sober person, such a gentleman. And our Krishna, he's always with the gopis, he's stealing butter, he's playing with the cows, he's making toys with the cow dung. So that way, all these activities doesn't suit Narayan. Narayan is very sober gentleman guy. So that way, and he's so godly. Our son is so mischievous. He cannot be an incarnation of Narayan also. And then Brajavasi said, point. Finally, Brajavasi said, so that means the conclusion is, this is a son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And everyone said, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Case closed, file closed. Krishna is son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. This is a sweet pastime. Then how Krishna, in his most sweetest of expression, the sweetest of all Leelas, the sweetest of all Rasas, he manifests himself as the son of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. But he, Adi Purush, as Krishna, Govindam Adi Purusham, Adi Purush is Krishna, expands into other forms. Like all the demons in Vrindavan are killed by Vasudev Krishna, not Nandanandan Krishna. Nandanandan Krishna, he steals butter, he dances with the gopis, is Nandanandan Krishna. As soon as the demon comes, from within Nandanandan Krishna comes out Vasudev Krishna. He kills that demon and again goes back to Nandanandan Krishna. When Akrurji came, so Nandanandan Krishna stayed in Vrindavan. And Vasudev Krishna, he moved to Mathura, killed Kansa, went to Dwarka, married with Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambati, etc. Vasudev Krishna. Nandanandan Krishna stayed in Vrindavan. He is always in Vrindavan. He never leaves Vrindavan. So that case, Krishna does Leela within Vrindavan in his original form and then expands into his other forms as well. Like that.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's what I call buy one, get one free. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Prabhu, thank you very much for a lively class. I enjoyed it. It was wonderful. So my question is to the basics of the naming actually. So in the class you started mentioning the meaning of Vasudev, saying that it's Vasudev is another like a level or a stage of auspiciousness or enlightenment.
Transcendental.
Yeah, transcendental phase. So if I see the scriptures and go back and see the naming is kind of according to the character. Let's say, for example, Hiranyakashipu means bed of gold, made of gold. So it predicts or it depicts his character. So my question here is like, are the names are they like the characters are named according to their characteristics,
Yes.
or different, or how does we understand as a devotee, like how should we understand and this naming thing?
Sometimes the scriptures, the name matches so much with the activity of the person that some of the Mayavadis, they think that scriptures are symbolic, like that. Just like Ram, the embodiment of happiness. So they conclude, okay, so that is the scriptures, they are more symbolic. Parikshit, the one who's doing pariksha, that whether this is the same person I saw in the womb of Uttara, this is the same, he's doing pariksha or he's testing. So his name is Parikshit. So that way, some of the people, they consider, well, scriptures are just symbolic, not that they're not historical, they are just symbolic. But earlier, the names were also being given after looking into the astrological chart of the person. And seeing the astrological chart of the person, the kind of activities and his psychophysical nature, taking that into consideration, the names would be given. And that is, we see the names resemble so much of the activities which is going to do in the future. So some people think that scriptures are symbolic, that is, but they are symbolic, of course, they are symbolic meanings. But Leela actually happened as well in that particular nature, which matches his name as well, because the names were being kept after seeing the astrological chart of the person. So that's how we see that such names, they match so much with the qualities, like that. So they would see the astrological chart. Now they keep the name John, Mary, Rahul, and Chintu, Bunty, which has no meaning. If somebody, okay, then he would be very chunt. He would be such a cunning person. His name would be Bunty. Ah, what a name! What a meaningful name. But earlier the names were being were kept with having certain intention. Like my name was kept as Ashish because my planets were so misplaced in a wrong position, in wrong house, that astrologer said this guy will have a devastated life. His career would be finished. He will not have a wife. He would not have children. He would live a life of a beggar. He would be a bhikshuk. And I can see all the planets. Oh God, none of the planet is in their own house. Very inauspicious life. Please don't mind. But I have to tell you, because I have not seen such a bad chart in past so many years. So my parents were very sad. So astrologer said, okay, what you can do, you can keep the name Ashish. Ashish means blessings. So whatever planets, whether Shani, Rahu, Ketu, whomsoever will come to bang him, will also give some blessings as well. So that is the name Ashish was being kept at that time, because my life is so inauspicious from planetary point of view, from astrological point of view. And actually it is true that actually I'm completely devastated. I don't have career, I don't have bank balance, I don't have wife, and I can't have wife also now. I'm an old guy, 45 years old. When there is no wife, so no question of children as well. So actually speaking, I'm materially devastated person. So the predictions which he told happened to be true. But the name was given Ashish so that some blessing may also come. Okay, bless you as well. We banged you enough, but all right, bless you as well. So that is my name was kept Ashish. But and of course, my glorious spiritual master gave me very beautiful name. I had a desire to have my name with Lila into it. Maybe Adbhut Lila, Chinti Lila. So he gave me the name Amogh Lila. So I was very happy on the day of my initiation. My life was being made at that moment. So in that way, so earlier the names were being kept seeing the astrological chart.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Hardik Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, since you took the name of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, we were waiting your Gaur Katha that you started last week. We could not find more parts in YouTube.
I'm actually urgently I have to go and give Bhakti Shastri for the brahmacharis in east of Kailash. So because one faculty member, he fell sick, so because of coronavirus. So now I'm giving class. So as soon as it gets completed, so maybe after a few months we'll start again.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dhamma.
Ocha family.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving the class today. I have a question regarding Krishna consciousness. It is said that it is very simple, but at the same time most sublime.
Yeah.
And then there is another verse which says, out of many thousands amongst men,
Yeah.
one may endeavor for perfection, and of
Yes.
those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So
Yes.
the above two statements seem to be a bit contradictory to understand. So if it is very simple, then everyone should be able to take Krishna consciousness easily.
Yes. Yes.
Correct?
There's
If you
one
could
very
just
beautiful,
elaborate.
yeah, there's been very beautiful quote by Sri Radhanath Maharaj. He once said, chanting Hare Krishna is simple. Dancing on Hare Krishna is simple. Singing Hare Krishna is simple. So what is difficult? It is to be simple. Otherwise, everything is so simple actually. So you will see that all these jnanis, jhanis and all that, because of some kind of complications we carry, that's why bhakti becomes tough. And that way they take so many, they take help of so many yogas, karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, ye yoga, wo yoga, nowadays disco yoga, smoking yoga, all these yogas are also happening, which are actually bhoga. So all these, why these bona fide yogas are also there? Why? Just to simplify the consciousness of the soul. So that when we become simple, we are ready for bhakti. Bhakti is actually very simple. For those who are crooked, those who are complicated, for them bhakti also appears to be very complicated. Because the simple-minded souls are rare. That's why bhakti appears to be rare. Because most of the people in this world, they are so complicated actually. So complicated. But for simple person, it is so simple. That's why Bhakti Maharaj used to say, simplicity is Vaishnavism. Saralta hi Vaishnavta. Those who are saral, those who are simple, for them bhakti is glibby, smooth, silky smooth, buttery smooth. But those who are having complications in their heads, they sometimes they leave after 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, they leave. Why? Because of their own complications. Once Srila Prabhupada asked the devotees, tell me who is the greatest enemy of a devotee? Somebody said, well, Srila Prabhupada, this is the greatest enemy, that is the greatest enemy, that is the greatest enemy. Srila Prabhupada said, the greatest enemy of a devotee is the devotee himself. We dig our own grave. So that way, since most of the people are not so simple, that's why bhakti remains inaccessible for most of the souls. Otherwise, bhakti is simple. Anybody can do. Everyone can do. Like sometimes when you go for house programs and you tell people, everyone, yes, chant Hare Krishna, everyone, sing, everyone. Boliye, boliye, mukh kholiye. They do not speak a single word. Chugli kariye. Okay, criticize someone, do some backbiting. Abhi bolna shuru kar, they will start speaking. My God. So people are very complicated. Bhakti is so simple. Chant Hare Krishna. Please say something. They will not say anything. So that way, so people are not simple. So all these yoga processes make ultimately the person simple, so that one can appreciate bhakti. That way, bhakti appears to be rare. Otherwise, it is so easy. Anyone can do bhakti. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Akshay Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danat Pranam.
Danat Pranam.
Thank you for your beautiful class. It's so wonderful to have beautiful insights. So I have a question, Prabhuji, regarding the birth of Suvadra Maharani. And
okay.
She was also known as Yog Maya, no? Prabhuji?
Yeah.
I want to know the story behind her birth also. And I have an added question is like, how can we save ourselves from the attraction of the Maya or world? Because in our life we get so much allured by these attractions of the world, like in of money, from fame, females, you know, like that. So how can we save our?
So first part of the question is that how come Suvadra Maharani she appeared. Actually, there is no Baal Lila of Suvadra. Baal Lila of Krishna and Balram, they are there, but there is no Baal Lila of Suvadra. Actually, what happened that when Vasudevji came and he was carrying the daughter, that daughter is actually Suvadra. Yeah. So So Suvadra, when he's carrying Suvadra, so Kansa, when he comes and throws the 8th child, which is actually the female child now, and then she turns into Mahamaya, and then she says that yes, the 8th child has already taken birth, and you will be killed very soon. Yeah, and then she disappears. So Suvadra at that time, now she disappears. Now there is no Bar Lila and Vrindavan of Suvadra. Even in Mathura, she's not there. All of a sudden, we see that when there is Dwarka pastimes, so there is Lord Krishna and Balaram, they are having a sister Subhadra. So Acharyas explained that this Subhadra is that Subhadra who appeared to Mother Yashoda. So she is now there as Yogamaya, the Subhadra. So and then she is accompanying Lord Krishna and Balaram in Dwarka pastimes, like that. So in this way she appeared. Regarding how to not get attracted towards Maya, for that there is one thing only. We have to increase our attraction for Krishna, like that. Like for example, there is one glass of water here, and you are tempted to I'm tempted to drink this glass of water, and your hand is going again and again, being tempted. Okay, let me drink the water. Temptation. So we are fighting with this temptation. What in case there is a glass of water, but in front of it I also put mango shake? Now automatically the hand, instead of going there, would go here towards the mango shake. Right? So we are to increase our attraction for Krishna, mango shake, and then automatically temptations of Maya would go away. Otherwise, artificially we cannot control these temptations. That is, so many sages who are doing tapasya and all that, they got tempted because they were not doing tapasya in the spirit of devotion. Vishwamitra Muni was thinking that firstly I got tempted by Menaka and then by Rambha. What's happening, man? What's wrong with this, with me? So he asked Vasishtha Muni, with whom he was early competing. He said, why? How come I get tempted? Firstly, I got tempted towards Menaka, and then Rambha, I became angry. Not victim of lust, but this time anger. Just like there's a bump in the carpet, if you push it inside, then it reappears on a different part of the carpet. So, okay, lust subdued, but anger was there. Anger subdued, so lust is there. Okay. So he was thinking that, what should I do? I'm doing such great austerities, but yet I'm not able to conquer these temptations. What should I do? So Vasishtha Muni said, you are doing tapasya, but not in a spirit of devotion. That's why you are getting tempted towards Maya. So that means, ultimately we have to develop attraction for Krishna. And that would come by repeatedly hearing about him, by chanting his name, by serving the devotees, Krishna's devotees, when they will bless us. Prabhu, may you have devotion for Krishna. When they would keep blessing us. In this way, we increase our attraction for Krishna. And then we will see that gradually this attraction would also go away towards the material world. It would appear pale very soon.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I just want to, thank you. You giving us a wonderful, priceless gift. That's your minutes from your time. I don't have any question. I just wanted to, with very folded arms, hands, with humble obeisances, wanted to thank you. I follow your Maya Asharya all the time. Thank you for your support team who support you with all the titling, where you mix the title with Hindi and English. It brings me so much of joy. The 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes video. It gives me the kick to, deal with Maya every morning. As a small business owner, we need some motivation, and again, this priceless gift, which you keep offering us, your minutes, which we can never get again, thank you again. I just want to do. Really appreciate, Prabhu.
All mercy of Prabhupada. All goes to
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
There's a question in the chat room. But before I ask that question, Vijay Prabhu just actually reminded me of something. So a lot of your talks that are video recordings are in Hindi. Just a suggestion, and I'm not sure if you got this before, but is it possible for them to, going forward, have even some English subtitles? This way, many those who don't understand Hindi can also take advantage of understanding what's being.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Especially our children.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you again.
So we are working on it. So sometimes we are able to do, sometimes we fail to do that. But yes, I have received this feedback from some of the devotees from USA, UK, when I met them in Wada. So they said that yes, if that can be done. So I told the devotees, because that's not my channel. Some people think that my ashray is my channel. It would be height of arrogance if I keep my channel as my ashray, my shelter. So it's not my channel. It's actually a media channel of ISKCON East of Kailash. But somehow the devotee who takes the technical aspect of it, and I in Dwarka, we got together and we started making videos, and then it went very well by Krishna's mercy, Shri Prabhupada's mercy. But yes, Prabhuji, we will work on this, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for that.
The question in the chat room is, Krishna will never leave Vrindavan, and why all Brajvasis suffered a lot in separation after Akrur 2 came to know?
Actually, these devotees in Vrindavan, what is the speciality of devotees in Vrindavan? If I compare their devotion with the devotion of those devotees who are in Vaikuntha, devotees in Vaikuntha, they are selfless. But the devotees in Vrindavan, they are selfless plus self-forgetful. They are self-forgetful. They are so much lost in Krishna. All of them are actually in samadhi, in their trans-cognitive, supracognitive trance. They are all moving around in Vrindavan. They are self-forgetful. And because they are self-forgetful, what happens to them? As Krishna has now left, I say Vasudev Krishna has left, but Nandanandan Krishna is still there and standing before them. So they say, can you see? We are seeing Krishna. We have become so mad in love for him. Even though he left in front of our eyes. Akrurji came and he took Krishna Balaram away in front of our eyes. Yet we are seeing him in front of our eyes. Let's see, we became so mad in love. Are you also seeing him? He said, yes, I'm also mad. You're also mad? I'm also. Actually, we all became mad for Krishna. We are seeing him, that as if he's standing here. But he has left Vrindavan. And then Krishna would say, well, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. And then he would say, just see, I'm hearing his voice as well. As if he's speaking to us. Just he became so mad in love. We have seen that he has gone. And he told us that he will come back. How can he be here? In this way, there was union. And in union, there was separation. That was a unique ecstasy which the Brajavasis were experiencing. In union, they were experiencing the separation. That we became so mad in love for him. That we are seeing him as if we are talking to him. Strange. Oh, we became so crazy in his love. But actually, Krishna, not that they are hallucinating. Krishna is actually standing before them. But they are thinking we are hallucinating because we became so much mad in love for him. So this is how they spend union and separation, a very unique kind of rasa by the devotees in Vrindavan, the Brajavasis, the Gopis, Srimati Radharani, like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Madhvi Sita?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. Thank you for enlightening us. Having you here, it's our dream come true. Yes, we hear every day, especially my son and our entire family actually hear your lectures every day here. So thank you very much for taking time and coming here. My question is that, Lord never comes under the control of his energies, right? So how does he enjoys different rasas, especially with Mother Yashoda and all his cowherd friends? Does he forget that he's God? I mean, his forgetfulness is not like others, but it's in his control, right? When to forget, when to. So how facilitate that?
Yeah. As you know, in Krishna's Lila, who is the script writer? Krishna is a script writer. And who's the producer director? That's Yogamaya or Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi for Madhur Ras Leelas and Yogamaya for other Rasa Leelas. Acha, who is the hero? That's Krishna. Acha, so you are the script writer as well and you are the hero as well. Yes. So Krishna says, I am the hero as well as I am the script writer. But when he is acting as a hero, he by his own will forgets that he is a script writer as well. And by his will, he remembers as well that I am to act like a script writer as well, so I am to change the script as well. So he does both the things in a very dynamic fashion, Krishna. So that means he, by his own volunteer, his own desire, he becomes subordinate to Yogamaya as well, and then directs Yogamaya as well, and then makes Yogamaya subordinate to him as well. So he does all these dynamic exchanges with Yogamaya for Leela to happen. Otherwise, if he remains conscious of his godhood, he cannot experience rasa. He has to forget that. So he forgets by his own will, and then he remembers as well by his own will. So because he's a cause of remembrance as well as forgetfulness, not just for living entities, but also for himself. He says, remembrance comes from me, forgetfulness comes from me, for you as well as for myself. So that means for us, of course, it is because of Mahamaya, we forget Krishna. But in case of Krishna, he does that in a very dynamic fashion. So that case, as Narayan, he remembers his godhood. As Ram, he semi-forgets his godhood. But as Krishna, Nandanandan Krishna, he completely forgets his godhood. But in between, he remembers as well, and again, he forgets as well. So that is as per his will. So that's very achintya, that's quite inconceivable. So, but he can do impossible. All kinds of contradictory traits, they very beautifully blend into Krishna's personality. And that is Krishna's personality actually. All contradictions, they beautifully blend in his personality, in his leelas. All the dynamism is there. Super dynamism, inconceivable dynamism.
Thank you so much. Very beautifully explained. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
You are so enthusiastic, always charged up, on full charge, and through that you inspire so many devotees all over the world, in spite of not being there. I mean, just by watching your videos or just by hearing your lectures, one get enthused. What I would like to know is, what is that inspiration behind you that keeps you so enthusiastic all the time?
Well, inspiration behind me is the attitude of gratitude. I can see that all these great teachers, my gurus, and the great Vaishnavas who are so learned, who are so much realized, having heard from them, having spent time with them, I feel grateful to them. And the only way I see to please them is to enthusiastically do devotional service and propagate this message. Like Srila Prabhupada, once somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how can we repay your debt? Can a disciple repay the debt of the spiritual master? Srila Prabhupada said, no. It is impossible to repay the debt of the spiritual master. But by preaching vigorously, one can certainly please the spiritual master. So that way is when I try to act enthusiastically. It is actually the way of it's an attempt to please the spiritual masters, especially Srila Prabhupada, my Diksha Guru, Shiksha Gurus, my mentors, my guides. So it's just the attitude of gratitude which enthuses me, actually. Otherwise, I'm not a great devotee, but yes, it's mercy which is driving me. Somewhere, the Vaishnavas, they are praying for me, they are chanting for me. So that way, it is their prayers which is actually driving me. Otherwise, I'm an ordinary devotee. How can, when somebody says, Prabhuji, I saw your video and I started chanting Hare Krishna, I saw your video and I gave up meat eating and all that. I don't see that I have that potency. It's actually Krishna who is working through this useless guy. That's his greatness, actually. If somebody uses a bad utensil and yet serves very well, so that's the greatness of the person who is using such a bad utensil. So actually, God is a person who, or Srila Prabhupada's mercy, which is actually working. I am the bad utensil. I'm not a great chanter of the holy name, that I'm chanting Shuddha Naam. That's why my voice has so much potency that it transforms the people. I know. I'm an ordinary chanter. I struggle to chant nicely, attentively, with 100% attention. So that is, I'm not that great which people think of me. But yes, the mercy behind me which is working, that is certainly very great. The mercy of Supreme Lord Krishna, our wonderful founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, my wonderful spiritual masters, my mentors, they are very great. So they are doing it, and they are utilizing this this distorted utensil, and so that was, that's their greatness. So I don't see that I am doing anything. But, and also Bhagavad Gita's words that I am the ability in man. So in case if I have any ability to convince somebody about Krishna consciousness, this ability is also from Krishna, and he's saying that he can give ability, he can withdraw ability as well. If he withdraw ability, that day I would be doing Jajagaba, Jikaba, Chupapi, thank you, Mambo Jumbo. If I'm able to speak, so That's actually Krishna. If I'm able to process something and understand something, that's Krishna's mercy. So that ways I stay enthused by their mercy actually. It is not even a single iota to my credit. It is all mercy, mercy, mercy. I'm cow jersey with no mercy. Just running on mercy. That's it. Nothing special about him. All special about my acharyas, the teachers, the mentors.
I had heard that growing up you were quite shy. Is that true?
Yeah, I was very shy, very introvert, very, very introvert. That's why my parents, when they look at me now, they say that this guy is not our son. And maybe this guy murdered our son and now he has got plastic surgery and he's now acting like our son. But because the kind of behavior he has, first time when they came to my lecture, and I spoke for 1.5 hours, and they were astonished. After the lecture, they said, up until now, in totality, you did not speak this much as you spoke today. How come? And they were doubting whether he's our son or not. How can he speak so much? 1.5 hours. Because I was so introvert, I would hardly speak. Yes, no, maybe, yes. That's very introvert. But Krishna, he can do anything. From an introvert person, he can take out a highly extrovert person who is super social, with so much of friend circle. I've got so many friends now. It's very difficult for me to move from point A to point B because in between there are so many points C, D, E, F. So many friends in between I have. Oh my God. So my parents are astonished that he's completely changed. Completely changed actually. So I was very introvert. I would walk alone. I would sit alone. I was a lonely guy. I was not really lonely, but I was always alone. But I was never lonely. I was happy with myself, but now I'm happy with devotees actually.
And was that changed too because you wanted to please your acharyas?
Yes, that's true. Preaching. I saw that being extrovert would help me preach. So that phase now I have got two natures. One is introvert nature, which is by birth, that nature. And as soon as when there comes an opportunity to preach, then I become very extrovert as well. So I got now two natures, which is by birth. One is the acquired one. Acquired one is the extrovert nature. By birth is the nature which is introvert. So when I'm not preaching, I have no problem. When there is nobody around me, I'm alone, I'm still happy. And when I'm preaching, I become happier. So that's why I got now two natures, introvert nature as well as extrovert nature.
And we see that even when you're preaching, you're very fearless in a humorous way, but you say things as they are. And that's so important for us to in order to progress in spiritual life. Sometimes you need that strong messages as it's given in the scriptures. So thank you very much. So one last question from Abhay.
Please.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful class. My question is a bit off topic, but of course it connects to Krishna in one way or another. But I had a question about Lord Brahma and in our particular universe, right? So when Lord Brahma leaves, when he leaves his body, the universe is destroyed.
Yes.
So does he go back to, like, his soul go back to Godhead, or does he take birth? Like when the universe comes again, it forms again from Satyuga again. Does he take birth in the Earth planet and gets born into devotee family, then goes back to Godhead? How does it work?
Yeah, mostly Brahmaji goes back to Godhead because Brahmaji is very evolved. He receives Gayatri from Lord Krishna himself, Gopal Gayatri, and our Brahmaji, especially the four-headed Brahmaji, our Brahmaji is a pure devotee. So mostly the Brahma, those souls who acquire the post of Brahma after the universal devastation, Atyantik Pralay, they go back home, back to God. As per their Swarupa, it can be in Sakya Dham, it can be Narayan Dham or Vaikunth Dham or like that. So that is usually they go. Usually. In case it does not happen, then again he takes birth in a very, very pious family in some very exalted planet, and then again he goes back. So there's not. So once who has become Brahma, very, very unlikely that again he becomes a pig, a hog, or a dog. Now, no more. Will go back because that Brahmaji's position in itself is very, very pious, very pure, and having darshan of Lord Narayan as well, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu as well as Lord Krishna. So that is he becomes delivered, and especially when he becomes the HOD of a sampradaya, like our sampradaya's HOD is Brahmaji. So that is mostly Brahmaji he goes back to.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You cleared a huge doubt in my mind. So thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right. So with that, we'll end our today's program. I really, on behalf of everybody, would like to sincerely thank you for taking the time out. I had spoken to you last year, 2019, when I was in Noida for my company, and I was trying to organize a talk in our company. I think the timing was, the timing wasn't right at that time. But if you ever happen to come and visit US, we would be more than happy to serve you and host you. And let's thank, go ahead. Let's thank Amogh Lila Prabhu, everybody. Unmute and loud Hari Bol so he can visit us again.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari
So
Bol.
much. Very well. Wonderful.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Ram Purnima Krishna Janmashtami Radhashtami Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ISKCON of Bergen, to make it happen. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Very wonderful.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.